Hi everyone! Today we're going to be doing a project on a Mexican craft called Hojalata. Hojalata is the Spanish word for tin. Tin is a type of metal and it gets rolled into these thin sheets like aluminum foil, but a little bit thicker. And the artists use that and they cut it into different shapes. Animals are usually the most popular shapes they like to cut it into. And then they use different tools and punches and hammers to create different texture on the surface of it, and then they paint it. You can do this with something like an aluminum pan, but in order to have the color show up, you need a permanent marker like a Sharpie, which I know not everybody has at home, and not everybody has aluminum pans, those disposable kinds that you can cut up at home either. But if you do and you want to try it, and you have someone at home, a grown-up that can help you, you can give it a try. You just have to really be careful because when you're cutting tinfoil, it can be very, very sharp. So you might want to have a grown-up do the cutting part. But today I'm going to show you how to do it with some easier to find materials. You're just going to need a box from your recycle bin. I have this cereal box here, and some glue, and some scissors, some markers, and pencil. And I have Sharpies, but you don't have to use Sharpies if you're not allowed to use them at home, or if you don't have Sharpies, you can use any markers. You can even use paint. You can even use crayons. So I cut my box into flat pieces to make it easier to draw on. And I'm going to use a Sharpie, but you can use a pencil because then you can erase your mistakes. And I'm going to show you how to draw a bird, but you can draw any animal you want. So for bird body, I'm going to start with a big U shape and turn that into kind of a banana shape by adding another U on the top, connecting it. And then I'm going to make a circle for a head. And back here, I'm going to add the tail feathers. And I'm just making kind of oval shapes or teardrop shapes. I think I'm going to do 3 of those. Next, I'm going to make the wings. So these football shapes here, the reason they're not on the bird is because I'm going to cut them out and glue them separate later. So 2 wings. And I almost forgot the legs and I don't have room, so I'm going to use this box to draw legs. Remember to draw double lines so when you cut it out, it's a shape and you're not just cutting on the line. There you go. Those are all your pieces. So now I'm going to start cutting them out. And it can be tricky to hard out shapes from cardboard. So I'm just sort of bubble cutting where I just cut out the area that I want to cut, and then I can do a more careful job cutting slowly on the line. So now that I have all the pieces cut out, I kind of put together what it's going to look like, and I realized I forgot to add a beak. So, this beak does not want to stay. So cut out a little triangle, and that's going to be, and now I'm going to color it in. So like I said before, I'm using Sharpies, but you don't have to use Sharpies. And if you are using Sharpies, if you're allowed to use them in your house, just make sure you have something underneath them so you don't get Sharpie on your surfaces. Because I use Sharpie on mine, I can't really erase anything, so I will just leave a little spot for the eye here and just color in the rest of the head, all that dark color blue. And now I'm going to go ahead and put in some excuse me, some lines, and I'm going to be coloring inside these areas with different colors and patterns to make a really fancy bird. So I'm going to use a zigzag here. And you can think of all kinds of different patterns you can use. You can do like a checkerboard, a polka dot, squiggly lines, anything you want. You get really creative. And you might not have chosen to do a bird. If you chose to do a different animal, you can think about the different parts of the animal's body and do each part a different design. You can do whatever designs you can come up with. You can get really creative with this step. So I'm going to speed up the video now so you don't have to watch me color all day, but you can take your time and do your very best work coloring. Okay, so now that all my coloring's done, all that I have left to do is glue. So I'm going to open this up and put just a little tiny dot of glue for the beak. There we go. And just a little teeny glue right here on the legs. Get those legs on there. And figure out which way I want the wings to go. I think I want the smaller one in the front so it doesn't cover as much of the design. I'll put a little dot of glue right on the tip of that. And I'm going to put this one behind the bird. So I'm actually going to put the glue right on the front part of the wing. And there it is.